Today, we're going to be talking about the very sad life of the child star Jennette McCurdy. The start to McCurdy's career was incredible. She was one of Nickelodeon's biggest and most popular stars. While on the outside, it looked like she was as happy as could be and had everything she could want, she was actually hiding some pretty dark personal secrets. Did you know that iCarly's Jennette McCurdy actually suffered an incredible loss while filming for Nickelodeon? How did she manage to overcome tragedy and carry on with her life? Keep watching to find out about the sad life of one of Nickelodeon's most popular stars. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Celeb Central. Before we go any further, remember to smash that like button. Let's carry on. Hidden secrets. Jennette McCurdy's mom actually had a history with eating disorders. She had been hospitalized for anorexia a few times, and she had introduced her to anorexia. Was she ever aware that the famous child star Jennette McCurdy experienced an incredible loss while filming for Nickelodeon? She managed to overcome such a tragedy and move on with her life and career as well. Jennette's career start. The start to McCurdy's career was incredible. At one time, Jennette McCurdy was one of Nickelodeon's biggest stars, which is really saying something, considering how successful that network is. Best known for her time as the star of the hit shows iCarly and Sam and Cat, McCurdy was a mainstay of the network from 2007 until 2014. While on the outside it looked like she was as happy as one could be and had everything that she could ever want, but she was actually hiding personal secrets. And she was dealing with a lot of these awful secrets. Her fans did not find out about it until years later, and it nearly destroyed McCurdy and her career in March 2019. McCurdy came out with a personal opt-in through the Huffington Post, in which she revealed that she began to struggle with an eating disorder back when she was only 11 years old. In this Huffington Post op-ed article, she stated that there were several reasons as to why the eating disorder started in the first place. First off, she said that she knew if she stayed as small as possible, she would be able to get more roles as a child star in Hollywood. She also stated that her mother also struggled with an eating disorder and ultimately pushed this onto McCurdy over time. Her very own mother would help her stay thin by counting the calories for her and portioning her meals, and would also compare McCurdy's thighs to the size of other girls who were her age. Jennette McCurdy and her mother. Whenever McCurdy would go and try to have a snack or a treat, her mother would ask her to rethink her decision. Rather than her being annoyed by this, Jennette actually felt that her mother was just simply watching out for her and wanted her career to be as successful as it possibly could be. At one point, one of McCurdy's brands became concerned about Jennette's weight and mentioned that she might call someone to help her. McCurdy's mother responded and stated that if anyone asked her, she would say that she is eating normally. And this was the first time that Jennette had declined that there was something different about her diet and size in comparison to other girls who were of her age. However, things got even worse when she was later cast on iCarly at the age of 14. The show began to get very popular after its first year, and the pressure of everyone that was watching, it began to catch up slowly. Jennette was overwhelmed from this, and she began to watch her food even more closely than before, which is pretty hard to believe. When McCurdy was 18 years old, her mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and it was then when her relationship with food had completely changed. Rather than avoiding it, she actually began to find comfort in food, and she actually ate too many things, making the situation worse as she got older. She stated that she felt like she was supposed to be a role model for all the younger children that were watching. Jennette McCurdy's eating disorder. When she had just signed a deal for a spin-off series starring the character from iCarly, she was dating an NBA player, and her mom was weeks away from dying. She had also become acutely aware that she had become a role model for kids, which she felt that she was supposed to find cool, but actually found it pretty upsetting. Jennette mentioned a great contribution to society was walking onto an overlit Nickelodeon set, shouting lines about fried chicken, as her character liked fried chicken, and that's what kids were looking up to. But there was something about the shallowness about her success that made her resent it. That resentment festered and produced more fuel for her eating disorder. During this difficult time, she tried to eat as little as possible, and if she did cave in and eat more than she felt that she should, she made herself throw up. She became obsessed with this practice because it allowed her to eat whatever she wanted while also not having to worry about gaining any weight, and when people complimented her on her size, this even fueled her more to engage in these habits. McCurdy felt shame about her disorder, but the same only caused her to want to eat more. But things finally changed for the better when her sister-in-law confronted her about her issues and told her that she needed to get help. Finally, McCurdy began to see a therapist named Laura, who tried to help her through the recovery process. While Laura helped in some aspects of Jennette's life, she wasn't just ready to get better. She stopped seeing her therapist and went back to her old ways of dealing with things while her body began to suffer the consequences. She stated that she began to face various critical moments, such as her throat frequently bled and she popped blood vessels in her eyes from vomiting so much. Once, she lost a tooth when she fell down on her friend's bathroom floor from dehydration. And then finally, she decided it was time to seek help again. When McCurdy finally decided it was time to get help, she worked with a man named Hank, who specialized in this unhealthy habit. He helped her to identify her disorder and understand it better, along with recognizing what triggered these unhealthy thoughts. She admitted that recovery was very difficult, and it involved a ton of pain, and she had to learn how to think about herself in an entirely different way. While it took a very long time and she did relapse along the way, McCurdy eventually recovered from her disorder. She had been able to control it for the last several years, but admitted that it was not easy. She said that she had a slip, which has gotten back on her program. It's been 2 years, and she's doing well by recovering and moving forward, though she still gets eating disorder urges. Private photos were leaked without her permission. Early in March 2014, when McCurdy was 21 years old, private photos of her were leaked on the internet without her permission. There were 3 photos in total, and they featured her posing in revealing clothing. The photos were leaked after Jennette broke up with her NBA star boyfriend, Andre Drummond. McCurdy spoke out about the leak and essentially accused him of leaking the photos without even using his name. She claimed that she had only ever sent the revealing photos to one person. Because of this, she insinuated that he was the only person that would have access to these pictures and urged fans to connect the dots. Despite what Jennette McCurdy said, he went on denying the leak and tweeted this for all speculations about leaking anything that he had nothing to do with it. He is focused on basketball. Curiously, the leak took place just 2 days after Jennette McCurdy made an appearance on Pete Mahomes' podcast. She made it weird throughout the podcast as she discussed her relationship with Drummond, and even went to great lengths to call him a bad kisser. Because of the timing, many fans believed that he leaked the photos as a way of getting back at her for the comments that she made on the podcast. However, the true identity of the person behind the leak was never actually determined. After the leak of the 3 photos, tabloids and gossip sites went on a large discussion on the whole situation that took place. Some publications claimed that they had other revealing pictures of the star, but despite their claims, no more photos of McCurdy were actually leaked. And despite this fact, the photos were leaked without her permission. She ended up getting quite a lot of backlash for them. Fans expressed their disappointment in her, and some accused her of being a horrible role model, as she should have not been starring on a children's show. It is clear that life in Hollywood for Jennette was not very easy, and that she did have to deal with a lot of things at a very young age. Now, although it seems that she has stepped away from Nickelodeon, it just may be that this might have been the better case for her personal health. That's all for today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching.